My name is Mohau Pheko from South Africa. I am the coordinator of the Gender and Trade Network in Africa. It's an international network working to ensure that issues of trade become issues of justice, become issues of development instead of just profit. And we give a gender analysis to all of the trade agreements, and of course we campaign on a number of issues concerning trade.
And what are you doing here today?
Today I'm actually here, of course, for the World Development Movement's meeting, AGM, which I think is a spectacular way. In a spectacular way is beginning to really draw out lessons around social activism. I think there have been so many shifts in the world today that we need to actually realign ourselves and find our place and our space again in terms of how to engage not only the state, which is shifting all the time, but engage each other and draw more people into the struggles that we are up against. And for me, it's a great opportunity to come and share a little bit about what we've done through the South African struggle, some of the campaigns, some of the successes, some of the failures, and how we are linking many of those particular strategies to today's struggles for people, whether it's around privatization, whether it's fighting the economic partnership agreements, whether it's fighting for the anti-eviction struggles for housing, etc. And for me, I think that it's also an opportunity for us to examine our own discourse, our own language, our own theories, because often we work in this area, most of the time not challenged, unchallenged, and we don't challenge our own concepts in the way that we even engage the state. Is this the correct way? Or other ways to engage around these issues. So for me, I think social activism has become such a core part of what we do, so central, that if we're doing it, we need to do it very well, and we need to constantly examine and sharpen how we do our things and to do them well.
And if you had, like a message for activists here in the UK, what would you say to activists here in the UK? What is it that you most want to get across to people here in the UK about activism?
I think that everybody needs to get inside organization, because the way that neoliberalism is working now, whether it's in the workplace, it's actually dismantling all of the institutions that we've relied upon to reach people. And so the only way that we can actually begin to get ourselves back on track is to encourage everybody to get into an organization. Whatever your passion is, whether it's climate change, whether it's trade, whether it's social housing, whatever it is, get into an organization, because it's only when we come into organization we can come up with a common analysis, and with that analysis we're able to sharpen our actions and get out there and become mass-based organizations, which is what we need for these struggles, to really, to a large extent, overthrow many of the false theories that are being pushed down by many of our governments. And I think the deepening inequalities that we are experiencing all over the world are shared by everybody at different levels. But we've got to come into organization to share these experiences and together build this broad front that can begin to confront the status quo, confront neoliberalism, because I think it must die. It really must die, because it's not sustainable for our own lives. So I think that we've got to come together inside organization and get active.
And finally, what's your impression of WDM and working with WDM?
Yeah, I think WDM is a very special movement, not because they've invited me 3 times, but I respect the way that they're able, first of all, to begin bridging the gap between North and South, which I think is very critical, because it's important to bring our struggles, together at a global level while working at the local level. And I think that the passion and the desire to get people active within the World Development Movement, for me, is something quite fantastic and phenomenal. And it's a movement of so many issues that, you know, whether you don't like one issue, you'll always find some issue within the organization and the movement that is attractive to you. And I think that for me, that each person, wherever they are within World Development Movement, can become an agent of change, can become a catalyst, and can build the counterpower that we're trying to build around the world.